are today is at the Great Eastern Fly-In. It's the major aviation event in the Northern Rivers and actually on the east coast of Australia. An aviation event where people fly in. It's a little bit different from an air show, which is really the focus is really just showing aircraft, whatever they fly, really aren't part of the whole program. Whereas this is quite different. This is about that. It's about promoting all aspects of aviation, promoting everyone who flies anything from models to the big warbirds and other aircraft that are here. And people fly in, they camp, we've got a camping area, they camp with their aircraft or over here in the camping area, and we provide food, things to do, aeroplanes to look at, and just have a good weekend.
I just came in and landed, and this is the biggest Avonset air show I have seen ever. And I've been here for over 20 years.
We've been running since 1992, and today is perfect. We're so thrilled. The weather's perfect. Lots of aircraft flying in.
You have a nice flight?
We have a lovely flight. I came up with
Richard. People you see, oh my God. We jumped in our plane and came here, and we came up all up the coast, up the south coast, all over the water at 1,000 feet, which was beautiful. Yes, called into Tari and refueled, and then we made it here. Obviously, you have to get permission and radio in and let them know where you are at all times. There's different parts of the coastline and different parts of Australia that is active, so therefore you can't go into those spaces because obviously it'll cause an accident. And you actually plan your trip, so you map it out so we know, we navigate where we're actually going. Well, we flew in yesterday because obviously to set up our campsites, so there was about 100 people, but this morning I've got to tell you there'd have to be about 3,000 people here. It's amazing.
Yeah, so it's like it's an air meet. Don't you love that sound? That's the Merlin in the P-51 Mustang.
Well, it's a Mustang, which of course is a legend in its own right, and this aircraft was restored to flying condition about 12 years ago, over a period of 7 or 8 years by a group of people. I've only been involved for about 3 years, but it's just, I guess most pilots have a desire to fly something like a Mustang, and the opportunity arose, so here I am. It's designed during World War II as a long-range fighter escort, and it's pretty much the aircraft that won the air war in Europe because it had the range to escort the bombers all the way to Berlin and back, because other fighters couldn't do it. It was later used in the Pacific and also in the early days of the Korean War. And it was a primary fighter aircraft for quite a number of air forces through the late 40s and early 50s.
It was a joy flight. I got to sit in the back and the pilot was in control of the aircraft. He pretty much explained what we were going to do and gave a bit of history on the bombing range, how it all happened, and as we did it he'd go through and do a bit of gun sound, bad. But yeah, it's pretty good, it's awesome.
It's sounds synonymous with World War II, which of course is the heritage of the Aerodrome, being the largest World War II training base in Australia. With the Empire Air Training Scheme, #1 bombing and gunnery school and #1 air observer school. And the whole area was about 1,550 square kilometres. It's huge and included out into the ocean and west out past Woodburn and south. So it was a very large area. And the museum next to our little house here has a wonderful display of that, as well as in the new Aviation Museum where the F-111 is, which is a fantastic addition. We've been waiting a long time to see that hangar restored. That's the first hangar that was built here in World War II and was the last to survive, and now is fully restored, and we're very happy about that.
I'm the guy who spent 5 years of my life buying the F-111s for the Air Force. I was the project manager on their purchase and development. I attended what I call the birth of each one of them, the first time electrical power was put onto them in the factory. I flew the F-111 a few times out to 2.54 Mach number. This one wouldn't have gone that fast, but I was in a hotted up version. Beautiful aeroplane to fly. Very simple to fly, but the systems in it take a lot of management.
We are locally Australian owned, made and designed. We are one of probably 4 manufacturers in Australia. We used to mainly sell to farmers, but nowadays more and more people are semi-retirees that still have the enthusiasm and drive to go flying, and they just use it for travel. My father designed and made, and I now fly these as well as paragliders, so it's in the blood for me.
My dad flew aeroplanes all his life, so I actually grew up in a family with aviation. But honestly, there's no one sort of person, there's no one group of people, there's no one gender, there's no one age. We've got a memorial fly pass for someone tomorrow who actually went solo. He flew during the war, flew Spitfires, and then went solo again with a recreational aircraft at 90. So, you know, it's anybody really.